Matapos lagdaan ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang Executive Order No. 70 o ang National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict o NTF-ELCA, naging epektibo ito na mapasuko ang karamihang miyembro ng communist terrorist group na New People's Army sa mga kabundukan. Subalit taliwas naman ito sa sitwasyon ng iba pang Muslim separatists kung saan nagpapatuloy pa rin ang paghahasik nila ng kaguluhan sa Mindanao. At hanggang sa ngayon, malaking hamon pa rin ito para sa pambansang gobyerno, katuwang ang Bangsamoro Government sa mga hakbangin upang malutas ang suliraning ito.
Okay, how do you force them to surrender? They're people that needs to eat, needs to sleep, needs their family.
Okay.
And if you cannot attain that, get that, what will you do?
So, in simple words, sir, paano yung ginagamitan ng paraan?
Tao tayo eh. Diba? Pag wala ka na makain, saan ka pupunta? Pupunta yan, bababa. Maghanap ng pamilyahan, makain. And they now realize this cause is useless. Naghihirap kami dito, wala rin palang paputunguhan. And most of them realize it. Especially when we delivered government service doon sa geographically isolated areas.
So, you were talking about mga pagkain para mabuhay itong mga tao na to. But how do we revive the economies of those poor areas in your AOR? Especially Sulu, Basilan, and other parts. Kasabi mo nga, nandito yung pinaka-poorest na mga areas sa buong bansa.
Let's talk about Sulu and Tawi-Tawi. Sulu and Tawi-Tawi, prior to the colonial period, this was a powerhouse of governance of Southeast Asia. But because of colonialism, na-isolate, and now they are very poor. I think it's high time we give attention to this area by reviving the way of life, their way of life, which is trading. The basic commodities there in Sulu and Tawi-Tawi doesn't come from the mainland. It emanates from neighboring islands. And if we will not have this, the way of life nila, technically they're surviving on smuggled items. And I believe it's not appropriate. I've already proposed sa BARM government, and it is part of their mandate as a BARM government to declare a free trade zone in that area to uplift the livelihood of our fellow Filipinos there. Kasi when we do that, we open up trading to them. May barter trade dati, di ba? Barter trade. Yun lang nga, with BARM, it can be improved and enhanced.
In all my interviews with military commanders, sir, we always talk about war. It's so surprising that a military commander, General Galido, is talking about economics and uplifting the condition of the people. Why is that? Why is it that ito yung direction ngayon ng, as if yung direction ngayon ng military? Is it because we now shift to another direction, giving more priority in the external threat?
For us to have a strength to protect our country, Filipinos has to be strong. Mga kapwa Pilipino natin. If we live in poverty, we can never be strong. That's why we need to give a better opportunity for all Filipinos, for our country to be strong.
So hindi lang giyera ngayong utak ng militar.
We need our communities to be strong.
What's the role of the military in helping recover the economy? Ano yung specific na pwede niyong gawin?
Create the environment of peace. Kaya nga in my campaign, sa mga ground commanders ko, we only eliminate 3 things. Eliminate the tools of violence, eliminate violent people, yung mga warrant of arrest, with the help of the PNP. And eliminate this environment of violence. Ito yung conflict, and we try our best with other stakeholders to remove this conflict environment. Kasi with that, little by little, we'll see progress being ushered in an area. And sabi nga, most of our, yung mga geographically isolated Filipinos, mga kababayan natin, it's the economic opportunity. Yun yung gusto talaga nila. And campaign nga ng ating presidente ngayon, napakaganda. Go back to basic, go back to agriculture. Because our population is growing and agriculture product is slowing down, so we need to boost agriculture production.
What are you seeing the next 3 years under the Marcos administration? As you know, maraming challenges ang military ngayon.
Very optimistic, especially when we go down to the basic that we are agriculture country and we need to revive our agriculture productivity. I saw it for myself. I've been here in Western Mindanao. I see a lot of untilled lands. Agriculture productivity is very low and our population is growing, and if we don't address this, there'll be more Filipino suffering.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines has a very high rating, trust rating, I mean. How do you feel about that? Does this give you more avenue to make some strategy in order for the people to really believe in the military, that what you are doing in your campaign against lawlessness, your campaign against CPP, NPA, this adds more credibility on your part na sumunod na lang tayo kasi tama naman sila?
When I entered the service, the main issue against the military is an abusive organization. And it took a while, really, for us to understand the concept of human rights and appreciating the value of life and working with the stakeholders. But I would always emphasize one thing to our soldiers, to the men in uniform, to always go back why we entered the service. Is it to serve our country or otherwise? And most often than not, they always go back to we are serving. And if you want to serve, the primary tool you will have is to be disciplined.
Mensahe mo sa mga Abu Sayyaf, Maute at saka sa BIFF?
Let's work together for a better country.
And to all our soldiers who up to now namimiss ang kanilang mga pamilya and assigned in the areas with the threat and the responsibility of protecting our people.
Salamat sa serbisyo natin.
Dapat meron tayong reality check kung kaninong responsibilidad tungkol sa bagay na yan at sino ang may kakayahan na gumawa to make it possible na yung mga membro ng extremist group ay mapasuko sa pamahalaan. Unang-una, ang may responsibility gobyerno ng Pilipinas. Dahil doon ang amin moral obligation na dapat tumulong kami para magkaroon po tayo ng overall na kapayapaan at hustisya dito sa Mindanao. At wala kaming konkretong authority na maaaring mangyari yung tinitingnan nila na pwede namin magawa. Ang meron lang sa amin ay yung influence. Pangalawa, yung responsibility sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas. Kami, gaya ng sinabi ko, moral obligasyon na tutulong kami para magkaroon ng overall na kapayapaan dito sa Mindanao at ang mangyayari pa dyan ay magkakaroon po tayo ng isang mapayapang lugar dito sa Pilipinas.
Well, unang-una, isa lang, just on the data from the national government, na sa BARM ngayon, we have reduced poverty from 2.9% to 26%. Double digit na ba? And then, pangalawa is investment rose in the BARM, rose to more than 80 billion now. So, ang nakikita namin is, it is just a time na mabigyan na tayo ng oras na we can proceed with our programs, we can proceed and we are hoping that we can really solve the problem confronting our people.
Isyu One-on-One.